Welcome to the Global Wired, bringing you the latest news from around the world. Every smartphone, electric vehicle, and wind turbine relies on rare earth elements, materials most people have never heard of, but which power our modern world. Their supply chain is among the most concentrated and politically sensitive on Earth, dominated for decades by a single nation. Now, a major discovery in Southeast Asia threatens to upend this monopoly, promising to diversify a market long seen as vulnerable. Global demand for these materials is skyrocketing, driven by the push for green energy and digital transformation. Nations are scrambling to secure supply chains for everything from fighter jets to MRI machines, wary of relying on a single supplier. The recent announcement from the Philippines, a massive, high-grade rare earth deposit, has sent shockwaves through the industry. Initial surveys suggest the resource could meet a significant portion of global demand for years. This find could inject much-needed competition, offering an alternative for the world's technology and defense sectors. The implications are vast, touching on trade, security, and the very foundations of our modern lives. The Philippine discovery is a dramatic new chapter in the ongoing saga of rare earths. It could fundamentally alter the established order, making the mineral-rich mountains of the Philippines a new focal point of global strategic interest. As the world seeks resilient supply chains, all eyes are now on this unexpected new frontier. Rare earth elements aren't actually rare, they're just hard to find in concentrations worth mining. This group of 17 metals, including the lanthanides plus scandium and yttrium, are essential for modern technology. Their unique properties make them irreplaceable in everything from electric vehicle motors and wind turbines to smartphones and LED screens. Mining and refining them is complex, expensive, and often environmentally challenging. That's why only a handful of countries produce them at scale. Rare earths are also critical for national security, used in precision-guided weapons, radar, and advanced communications. A single F-35 fighter jet, for example, contains nearly 1,000 pounds of rare earth materials. As countries pursue green energy and military modernization, demand for these elements is surging. This dual-use nature makes rare earths a flashpoint in global competition. Any new, large-scale deposit isn't just a commercial event, it's a strategic shift in the global balance of power. The Philippines' discovery could reshape that balance. The Philippines, long known for gold and copper, has never been a rare earths powerhouse, until now. In late 2024, a joint Philippine-Australian venture confirmed a world-class rare earth deposit in Mindanao. The site is rich in heavy rare earths like dysprosium and terbium, crucial for high-performance magnets. With over 2 million metric tons of recoverable rare earth oxides, this single find could meet global demand for years. The deposit's high concentration of valuable elements makes it economically attractive, even with complex processing. Its type, ion adsorption clay, is easier and less destructive to mine than hard rock, though environmental risks remain. The discovery has electrified the mining world, moving the Philippines into the top tier of rare earth resource holders. The challenge now, turning this potential into production, which will require massive investment and political will. The rare earth discovery sits in Mindanao's mineral-rich mountains, a region with a long mining history but untapped potential. Advanced surveys and drilling have revealed thick clay beds rich in rare earths, especially the valuable heavy elements. The deposit's consistency and scale make it attractive for large-scale mining. Notably, its high ratio of heavy-to-light rare earths could break China's near-total grip on critical materials like dysprosium. The next steps: metallurgical testing, environmental assessments, and building infrastructure. The Philippine government aims to streamline permits for strategic projects, but responsible development is key. Ensuring local communities benefit and environmental standards are met will be a crucial test. The world is watching how the Philippines manages this opportunity. For decades, China has dominated the rare earth supply chain, from mining to refining to manufacturing. This concentration gives Beijing enormous leverage over global industries. The Philippine discovery could disrupt this status quo, offering manufacturers a vital alternative. A diversified supply chain is more resilient, able to absorb shocks from geopolitical tensions or policy changes. But building new processing capacity outside China is technically difficult and expensive. The Philippine project could catalyze investment in non-Chinese refining infrastructure, especially if allied nations partner to create a full, mine-to-magnet supply chain. Increased supply could also stabilize prices, making green technologies more affordable. However, China is unlikely to yield its dominance quietly. It may cut prices or ramp up production to undercut new competitors. The result, a period of intense competition and volatility as the market adjusts. The rare earths market is entering a new era, with the Philippines at its center. The world's tech future may depend on how this plays out. China's rare earth dominance was built on decades of investment and a willingness to bear environmental costs. This near monopoly has given Beijing powerful leverage, as seen in 2010 when it halted exports to Japan, sending global prices soaring. The Philippine find directly challenges this dominance, especially as Manila's security ties with the US and allies grow stronger. Output from a future Philippine mine is likely to flow to nations seeking to de-risk their supply chains. For China, this is a strategic headache, threatening its grip on a critical resource. Beijing may respond by manipulating prices, offering incentives to Manila, or accelerating its own move up the value chain. The global market is shifting from a unipolar to a multipolar structure, promising more stability and innovation. For the first time in decades, a credible alternative to China's rare earth monopoly is emerging. The competition could spur advances in recycling and new technologies. The world's rare earth future is no longer in the hands of a single nation. For the Philippines, this discovery could be transformative, generating billions in export revenue, attracting investment, and creating thousands of jobs. Taxes and royalties could fund public services and even a sovereign wealth fund, turning mineral wealth into lasting prosperity. But history warns of the resource curse, where sudden wealth breeds corruption, inequality, and neglect of other sectors. Transparent, accountable management is essential, with strong anti-corruption measures and fair benefit sharing for local communities. Environmental and social challenges are real. Rare earth mining uses chemicals and produces waste, and the site is home to rich biodiversity and indigenous communities. Success means balancing economic gain with environmental protection and social justice. The Philippines stands at a crossroads. This could be a ticket to prosperity or a source of conflict and degradation. The outcome depends on choices made now. The world is watching to see if the Philippines can avoid the pitfalls that have trapped other resource-rich nations. The stakes couldn't be higher. The Philippine rare earth discovery doesn't just shift economic maps, it reshapes Indo-Pacific geopolitics. The region is already a hotspot of US-China rivalry, and the Philippines' new resource elevates its strategic importance. For the US and allies, this is a chance to build secure supply chains and counter China's dominance. Expect technical assistance, financing, and long-term deals to follow. The project could anchor a new economic security bloc, deepening alliances and reducing shared vulnerabilities. But it also complicates Manila's relationship with Beijing, its largest trading partner and a rival in the South China Sea. The mine gives the Philippines leverage but also makes it a target for Chinese pressure. Navigating this will require deft diplomacy and strong partnerships. The mineral wealth beneath Mindanao is now a key piece in the Indo-Pacific strategic puzzle. The Philippines' rare earth discovery is a landmark event, challenging decades of market concentration and dependence on a single supplier. If managed wisely, it could fuel sustainable development and transform the nation's future. But the risks of corruption and environmental harm are real. Geopolitically, the find reconfigures the Indo-Pacific chessboard, giving the Philippines new leverage and new challenges. The journey from discovery to production will be long and complex, watched closely by the world. This is a new chapter in the global rare earth saga, one that could democratize the building blocks of the 21st century or spark new competition. The outcome remains unwritten,